What's up, everybody? This is Big O. This time I'm building a basket for my kayak. I know there's a million videos on YouTube on how to do one, but this is how I'm gonna do it. Basically need two of these, and I'm gonna have a lid on mine. So you're gonna need some zip ties. You're gonna need two of these milk crates. Then you're gonna need some PVC pipe, and then basically I'm gonna cut this one. I'm gonna cut this top part here. So I'm gonna cut all this bottom part off, this here. So anything I want is this top piece basically. I'm gonna use the little saw here to do that. So basically this is what you're gonna be left with. You're gonna want to wear some eye protection before doing this. Should have said that, but I mean it's kind of common sense. But so I'm gonna get a little stand or some sandpaper and sand this out because it leaves some rough edges here. It might not necessarily cut, but when you're trying to reach behind the kayak, it might get caught on your sleeve or you know, tear something, or eventually it might get sharp. So yeah, and then after that I'm gonna drill some holes here for zip ties. Harbor Freight's not sponsoring me to on this video or anything like that, but I mostly get all my tools from there. I know they're cheap or whatever, but I'm just starting off with working and stuff, so I have a bunch of expensive hobbies. So little by little I'm gonna get better tools, but anyways, don't hate. So yeah, get this, sand it off a little bit, the top. You don't have to do that and go that hard into it because it'll start melting or tearing up the sandpaper. So yeah. Alright, so for this part I ended up I'm gonna put the top this way. I could put it like this, but then it decreases the amount of space inside because of the cavity there, see? So I'm gonna put it like this. It gives more storage space inside, more cubic feet. But if I do it like this, it fits in there just nice and it's snuggly. But I'm gonna have a bungee cord on there on the front to keep it in place. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna drill some holes here, probably about 4, and put some zip ties to hold it in as hinges. I'm gonna line it up, the holes on the top and bottom, using you can use a ruler or something, but I'm gonna use this. Pretty much mark it with some paint. That way when I make the holes for the drill, they'll be pretty much linear or in line. So I'm going to do them like that. I mean, I would, if I were you, I've done this a lot of times with paint, so I'm comfortable doing it this way. This might not be the right way, but this is the way I do it. I'm going to mark it with some nail polish, and because it usually doesn't run. And so yeah, but if you want, you could just get a ruler, do it like that, make sure the line is straight, or some sort of, you know, leveler. You could do it that way, but that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to do 4 of these, and then I guess go to the next step. So I did the 4 holes there, and then on the bottom. And when you do this with a drill, it's going to leave some plastic melted on that side. So use the sander and get that off, because the metal won't be smooth. I did the outsides first to keep it even. So I adjusted the tension until it was even on the top, and then I started tying it down. Because if you start just doing it from one side, it's going to start pulling on like this, you know, to the left or something. So I, you know, kind of start tying it down one little bit. Kind of like when you do a tire, you got to do the lug nuts in a certain order, something like that. So I'm going to put 4 of these on here. Now I'm not going to do these super tight. And you know, eventually they're gonna break anyway, so that's why I put 4 in case one breaks when I'm on a trip or something, because the other 3 will still hold it. Even if 2 break, it'll still work. So yeah, I'm gonna do that and keep going. So the zip ties I got were a 20 pack. I got these from Home Depot. Home Depot semi-free stuff, Harbor Freight semi-free stuff, Milwaukee semi-free stuff. So I got this on today, Black Friday, 99 bucks. It's pretty good. Anyway, so I'm going to do that, then we're going to do the bungee cord on the front, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Here's a tip before we continue any further, or you do. Before you finish zip tying all of these, remember how I told you to sand this shit? Well, sand, and this is what I might have to do later, depending on how. but you want to sand the edges of the box, either the top one or the bottom. That way it'll be a lot smoother action. Sorry, my cameraman ain't here. But see, for example, if you sand this lip here, zoom in so you can see it. So this lip, if you sand that down, it'll be a lot smoother action, an opening and closing. Or I don't know if you want to smooth down the top lip or the bottom lip edge, but it'll be a lot smoother. But I mean, for holding shit, it's gonna work. But if you want it to be smoother, some people are really picky about that, you could do that. Me, I'm just gonna leave it the way it is for now and see what happens. If I find I'm not liking it, I'll just cut all these off and do that. So it's a quick tip. Oh yeah, and then also cut these shits off once you get it to the tightness that you want. Basically, you just want it to, when you open it, for it to open evenly. You can see it when it's opening. If it's open like here, I think it's either too tight or too loose on this side, on the left side. Smashing my finger. Ow, ow, ow. I'll edit that out later. I won't. But yeah, so you see, I think it's too loose on the left side, so I'll adjust that before I cut it. But then, technically, I mean, that's what you want. So next step is to put the bungee on the front. So I got this little bungee here from Home Depot today. Home Depot gave me free shit. So I'm going to drill a hole here, and then I'm going to end up cutting one of these ends off, tying the bungee in there so the bitch won't come out, so it'll be tied in on the inside. And I know what you're saying, but Oscar, if you do that, if you fray this shit, it's going to just unwind. No, I know that, but I thought of that. So I'm going to get this here, flame on, you big flamer, and singe the end of it, and that way it won't unravel, and then that way it'll be good. And the stretchy part is good because it'll be just enough to hold it and tie it, or tighten it as much as I want, and it's good enough for NASA. So yeah, we'll go from there. I don't know if I have a drill bit big enough for that bitch. I'm gonna go look. Yes, let's burn this with fire. Fire. Fuck you, fire. Yes. Yes. More fire. I wish I had my cameraman here. Let's see. Maybe we can put this over here. My cameraman's out for the holidays. Just me today doing this. I'm trying to do this quick because, you know, got some extra days or whatever. On this bench here. I don't know how to tie a knot. I'm just a fisherman. I don't tie knots. I'm not a fisher person. I don't mean to offend anybody. Yes, this is still hot. Maybe we should let this cool down. Yeah, we're gonna let this bitch cool down. But yeah, this is basically what you do. So yeah, it's not a rocket doctor, but you get the idea. Okay, so I ended up cutting this thing, and now I'm gonna burn it. So I'm gonna tell myself that I'm gonna erase the other footage, but I'm not. Fuck. Here we go. Oh, come on, wind. Fire. Heart. That's good enough. That way it'll constrict it around itself, kind of like a heat shrink tape. If I sound like Darth Vader, it's because I'm wearing a face shield. Not necessarily for the Rona, but because shit flies everywhere. You know, particles. And so yeah, there we go on that. I'm pretty much finished as far as the box goes. Next thing I'm going to do is put some tubes for the fishing shit. See? So I can just tie this down. I'll show you. Da, 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 da. Okay, well, it's over. Ain't shit getting out of there. Now you might be saying, well, what if when you're fucking in the kayak and you're trying to get that shit out? Yeah, that's a good. See how easily it comes out. Not very easily at all. I mean, I was able to do it one-handed, so that's good. I mean, sometimes you gotta do it one-handed, you know, because nobody else will give you a hand. Now to lock this bitch, yeah, this is gonna be the bitch is to lock it. Now, problem with this hook is that the hook is actually too big. It's too big and thick. I know, fellas, we have that problem in common, but in this situation, this box requires a smaller fucking hook. So I'm just gonna cut off about maybe 2-3 inches off, and that way it'll be easier to get in. Let's see. That's what she said. So over here, I thought I was buying a cheap fucking bungee cord, and I'm like, I'm having a hard time cutting through it. I thought it was gonna be a quick, but it actually has metal in it inside the plastic. I was like, wow, that's the one time I want structural reliability, right? Alright, got it. So cut that piece. Now this can come in or out one-handed, most of the time. And I even tried it with my back to it, so yeah, that part's done. So that part's done if you're only worried about making a box. But now I'm going to add the rod holders. Some of these I'm cutting out a little bit wider than others. It's because some of my poles are longer or wider. So yeah, some of these are going to be a little bit wider. But I was worried it was going to be too deep, and it might be, but at the same time I don't think so. I kind of like it because when it's splashing or whatever, it has that back to keep it in place. And then I'm going to drill a hole at the bottom to zip tie it literally to the box, and then have another zip tie here in the backing to go around it. So one's gonna go through it and one around it. I don't know if maybe I should just do both. I guess I'm just both gonna go through it. You'll see what I'm talking about. So what I ended up doing is drilling the holes there and there, and then I drilled the holes on the pipe. Now I'm only gonna do 2 rod holders on here because I already have 3 on the kayak, and I don't have that many fucking rods anyways. So I'm only gonna do 2 on here. So basically, you see that hole? I'm gonna sand it and make it a little bit better on that side and that side, and put the zip ties through it. That way it's more secure. And the reason why I wanted to give it some space down here is because the rod's gonna stick out here, and I don't want it to hit the kayak, so it's got just enough space to still be under or flush with the box. And I didn't want to get too tall up here, because then the rod was going to be too tall. So I wanted it to still hit part of the box so it wouldn't flip over. You know, I don't know if that makes sense, but I guess it does. Whatever. So I'm going to add another one here. I was thinking about adding one on each side. So yeah, there it goes. So I'm going to put one on one side, one on the other, drill the holes, sanded everything down nice and smooth, so it won't fucking cut me when I'm trying to reach back there for it. Now I'm just going to put them there, and I'm pretty much going to be done. I just needed a very basic box, really. If you have any questions, let me know. The cost, I bought these brand new at at Home Depot. Send me money, Home Depot. They were $8 a piece. It's kind of pricey, but they're brand new. I could have got them used or stole them somewhere, but I didn't have time for that because I had a 4-day weekend and I had to do everything quick. I would say the total, see the boxes, the pipe, I would say probably about 25 bucks, and maybe 20-30 bucks at the most, and maybe about 25 minutes of time. It would have been sooner, like 15 minutes really, but I had to stop the record and had to go dig my tools out and shit like that. So if I had all my tools ready, I used the drill, by the way, and my sander and my little cutter jigsaw, probably would have taken me about 15-20 minutes. So I think it's worth it. Save some money. I saw some nice ones that I liked that were like $60-$80, but you know, not yet. Maybe when I get me a PDL kayak, like a badass $3,000-$4,000 one, okay, maybe then. But right now I have, you know, not so bad $1,000 one. So, but yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Subscribe, leave a comment. Love you. Bye.